Hi guys, this is Eddie Lozano again, giving you a little bit of pointers concerning joining the Marine Corps or any other service that you might want to go to. A lot of times when I look back, you know you know well, when you join the service, a lot of people have girlfriends or boyfriends and stuff like that. And if you do, well, congratulations, but it's going to be hard uh, having a girlfriend or having a wife while you're in the service. And a lot of it has to do because you're not going to be that first year. You're going to be moving from station to station. You're going to go to boot camp. After boot camp, you're going to go on leave, and then plus you're going to go to your MOS school. There's the first year is nothing but schools. Most of the things are depending on your MOS. There's somewhere my MOS school was about 4 months, and then was when I got to Lejeune, was I went to survey school. I went to radar school. Because as an artillery guy, there's a lot of stuff you have to understand about shooting artillery. The meteorology, because when you shoot the round, it goes through you know several lines of altitude to get to its target. So it affects it, the muzzle velocity variations, target description, all that good stuff. But as an example, but so that first year and a half, you're constantly going to be, traveling, going to schools. Once you report to your unit, if you're an infantry guy, you're going to be on workups, man. You're probably going to be deploying within 6 months, because the way that the system works is a unit gets back from deployment, and the people that are in that particular unit, they got end of service dates coming up rapidly. So within a month or 2 months after you get back, well, that unit is a shell. So you're waiting about 3 or 4 months to get the new Marines in that are going to constitute the next outgoing battalion that's deploying. So the reason I'm telling you all this is that if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, you're not going to see yourself much of them that first year. And what I tell a lot of my guys is, don't get married, bro. If especially not until you're at least a corporal, a corporal picking up sergeant. Because once you become a sergeant, you're waiting for staff sergeant, and you're already a lifer. So another thing that I remember is that, man, I lost more Marines to women than I did to drugs, to combat, to all that good stuff. It gets crazy because you're always gone. You're always gone. You're always deployed. Man, I have like 6-7 deployments on ship. I have 2 years overseas service. And went to Okinawa, on a UDP. So you're always gone, especially if you're in combat arms, 0311, artillery, even even the air guys. They're constantly deploying. So because you deploy as a MACTAF, you have your wing unit, you have your ground unit, you have your service support unit. So, man, you're always deploying. So and a lot of times some of these girls, man, that they get attached to, they're not very good women. They're known throughout the barracks, and some of these kids that I used to get were young, and never had a girlfriend before, or never had sex before, and these women, some of these women have 3 or 4 kids through 3 or 4 different guys. So getting married and splitting your money, yeah, you're gonna get BAH, BQ, comrades, and all that good stuff, but bro, you're giving your name to somebody that might not deserve it. So I'm not telling you don't do it. I'm just telling you that these are the issues that I, as a platoon sergeant, had with wives, we're deployed. The wives find a boyfriend, and you come back. The kid don't look like you, and and or she runs out. Leaves the apartment, doesn't pay anything. She's just spending, you're spending your money. So what I recommend, guys, if you're planning on getting married, wait till after your second deployment, because after your second deployment, and you're looking to reenlist, you're probably corporal sergeant. You're going to go to special duty like recruiting or the drill field. That time, it's not that you're going to have more time, but at least you're going to be home every night. So, and then plus it also allows you to save a little bit of money, and because when you get involved with a woman, people say, "Oh man, let's just get married for the BAH." It's not worth it, guys, because divorces are expensive, and if you don't have a prenuptial, she got you for half of your base pay, not your comrades and all that good stuff, because that's not for them, that's for you. So just think about stuff like that before you decide to get married, and just be very careful with the people that you associate, bro, because like I said, a lot of these young kids, I love them to death, but they're going to do what they're going to do. When it comes to women, they just lose control. Like I said, some women come in, they're virgins. First girl they meet, she wears him out, and he's in love, and he thinks he's in love, but a year later, this girl ruins this Marine's career, has to get discharged because he's worried about what she's doing instead of paying attention to the mission. And mission, accomplishment, troop welfare, is exactly that. You have to concentrate on the mission. And like I said, when you have a girl that's not there to support you, your head's not going to be in the fight. And anyway, just a little food for thought for you guys. If you have a girlfriend, you understand that you're going to try to make it work, but just be prepared, guys. And those Dear John letters, they're real, and some of those guys lose it because of their wife or their girlfriend. So be prepared for that, bro. I mean, I don't recommend that you guys rush into anything. Save your money, because a lot of guys say, well, I'm going to Marine Corps because I want to go to college, and but they meet a girl and that they think they love, and it doesn't turn, stuff doesn't turn out like that, So I've had to have discharged some Marines because of the women that they were married to, and they went UA, or because she went back home and he followed her. He didn't want to be in the Marine Corps. This is just an example, right? But it happens quite often, and like I said, I lost more Marines to bad girlfriends, bad marriages. And if the girl loves you, girl, most of the guys that were successful and were married in service, they known their wife since they were young kids. So they've known her for a long time. If you don't, you got to get to know a girl, but unfortunately, when you're in the Marine Corps, you don't get a chance to, because the deployment cycles that are going on. You're always deploying. You're going to go to 29 Palms for Caxes, McCree's, and you're always occupied. You're never going to be bored. And before you know it, I mean, you're at the end of your first tour, and you wonder where the time went to. But if you keep your nose clean, if you're going to get a good girl, wait to get married. Set a time. If you really love a girl, just set it out enough after your first 2 deployments, and if she's still there, that means that was meant to be. Because I've had a lot of time, bro. As soon as we deploy, the girl doesn't respond, not sending letters, and she's taking the Marines' money and spending it all. And plus he has no money to we hit a port. Well, he wants to go sightseeing and stuff like, but he doesn't have money because he has a girlfriend or a wife back in the back, or me, or he also might have kids. So, if you already have kids, and you still want to be Marine, bro, that is going to be the hardest thing you're ever going to do because, like I said, you're always going to be deployed. And as a PFC, Lance Corporal, private, you're going to get deployed. And that's not that it's a bad thing, but I think in the service, the whole time that I've met, I said most of my friends or my peers have been married once or twice, some three, and the last thing I want to comment, bro, think your stuff out, because most of the time between the ages, it's been my experience with the Marines that I've got, between the ages of 18 to 23, 24, they're still maturing. Once they're about 24, 25, they, everything the mom and dad taught them, lights that little bulb in the head, and they realize that their mom and dad were giving them good information. So, think about what you're gonna do, guys, because the decisions you make early in your life are gonna affect you for the rest of your life. And if you get discharged from the Marine Corps with a bad conduct discharge because you fell in love with some girl and she took off and she didn't care about you, it's gonna reflect on you, because it's gonna affect any benefits that you might have warranted when you got out of the service. So, like I said, be careful. And guys, my name is Eddie Lozano, and like I said, I'm not perfect. My name ain't Jesus. I don't walk on water. But these are the things, because I was in a position with sway over people. I had to set the example. And I tried to tell these kids, but sometimes they didn't listen. So, like I said, I've done mistakes. I learned from, as long as you learn from your mistakes, that's a good thing. But it's better to learn from somebody else's mistakes and not your own. Okay, guys, you take care. Have a good evening. This is Eddie Lozano signing off.